Okay, today we are starting our topic which is the urinary system. Alright, so before going towards the urinary system, we need to know the structure of the human body. Alright, so I'm going to make here. So basically, this is the human body which I'm making. Alright, these are the legs, these are the hands, limbs. Alright, so now human body is nothing but it is a hollow dome. Alright, here is a hollow dome. So basically this cavity is known as coelomic cavity. So wait, let me write here. This cavity is known as coelomic cavity. Coelomic cavity. Alright, so this is coelomic cavity, while the fluid in it will be known as coelomic fluid. Alright, so I'm going to write here the fluid which will be present inside it will be known as coelomic fluid. Alright, this is coelomic fluid. Now coelomic cavity is divided into two parts. Alright, coelomic cavity is divided into two parts, the upper part and the lower part. So the upper part of the coelomic cavity is known as thoracic cavity. Wait. The upper part of the coelomic cavity is known as thoracic cavity. Alright. Thoracic cavity. And the lower part of the coelomic cavity is known as abdominal cavity. Abdominal cavity. The down part of the abdominal cavity here is the known as pelvic cavity or pelvic region. This is pelvic cavity or pelvic region. Pelvic cavity where the sex organs are present. Alright, now we need to know that what structures are present in the thoracic cavity, what structures are present in the abdominal cavity, and what structures are present in the pelvic cavity. Alright, so first of all we are going with the thoracic cavity. Alright, so in the thoracic cavity we do have lungs. Alright, these are the lungs, and here we have heart. Alright, so this is basically respiratory system. So respiratory system is present where it is present in the coelomic cavity of the thoracic cavity. Alright, so talking about abdominal cavity, what structures are present in the abdominal cavity? So let's see. Wait, let me change the color. Alright, so in our abdominal cavity the digestive system is present. Like this is the esophagus, which is coming from the pharynx, from the mouth, or right, which is the food pipe. So here we have stomach, here will be sphincter, then that would be duodenum, the first part of small intestine, then that would be ileum, jejunum, all right, and here would be our large intestine, here would be rectum, and the opening will be anus. Alright, so here is our pelvic cavity, and what structures are present in the pelvic cavity? Let's see. So in our pelvic cavity the sex organs are present. Like in the females we do have ovaries, and while talking about the male sex organ, so those have sperms. Alright, now let's talk about the body wall. How body wall, like what body wall is made up of. Alright, so I'm going to use this color now. So here is basically the body wall. This is the body wall we do have. Let me write here. Body wall. Now, body wall is made up of four types of tissue. As we know that we do have four types of tissues: epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue, and connective tissue. So, our body wall is made up of four types of tissue. Let me write here with this. All right. We do have four types of tissue. The first one is epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue. All right. The second one is muscular tissue. Second one is muscular tissue. The third one is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue. Last but not least is the connective tissue. All right. Connective tissue. So now let's talk about their functions. Like, epithelial tissue is used where? It is used for the covering of the body. It is used for the protection of the body. Alright. All the covering of your organs are done by the help of epithelial tissue. Alright. So we do have more types of epithelial tissue as well, but we'll be doing this further. Alright. So second tissue, we do have muscular tissue. Muscular tissue are used in the muscles of the body. Alright. We do have three types of muscular tissue. Those are smooth muscles, skeletal muscles, and cardiac muscles. Alright. So the third is nervous tissue, like which are present in your nervous system. Alright. And the last is connective tissue, which is connecting, joining the parts of your body. Alright, so it is connective tissue. Now we need to know that, like, where the kidneys are present. Alright, kidneys would be present somewhere here. Wait, let me make the structure of kidney here. Okay, I'm making with the white color. Kidneys would be here somewhere. Wait, kidneys would be here somewhere. Alright, one kidney would be here and other kidney would be there. Alright, so this is basically kidney. This is kidney. Alright, now we know that on our organs the covering is of epithelial tissue. Like, the all organs are covered with the epithelial tissue. Okay, let me make here. I should make with this color now. Alright, so we do have covering here of the epithelial tissue. Alright, so this covering will be known as, this covering would be known as parietal peritoneum. Parietal peritoneum. And the covering which will be done on your organs. Wait, let me make that too, so that it can be clear to you. Alright, so there is a covering which is done on the organs as well for the protection. Alright, that covering is known as visceral peritoneum. Visceral peritoneum. Visceral means internal, basically. Peritoneum. Alright, we do have two types of covering. Those both are done by the help of epithelial tissue. So the first one is parietal peritoneum, and the second is visceral peritoneum, which is done on every organ of your body. Alright, so now here is an important point. Alright, here we do have one important point, that kidneys are the retroparietal organs. Wait, let me write here. These are retroperitoneal organs. Now, what are retroperitoneal organs? Alright, as we know that visceral covering is on every organ. So visceral covering will be on your kidneys as well. Alright, so I'm making here. So this is basically visceral covering. Alright, now parietal covering is on the coelomic cavity, the coelomic cavity. Like, it is here. Like, all the organs are enclosed in your peritoneum, that in your parietal peritoneum. But kidneys are not enclosed in the parietal peritoneum. Instead, these are covered with the visceral peritoneum, but they are not covered with the parietal peritoneum. So that's why these are known as retroperitoneal organs. Like they are not covered, they don't have protection of the parietal peritoneum, but they have only protection of the visceral peritoneum. All right, so now we have some characteristics of kidney, but before going towards the kidney, we need to know that what organs are like important in the urinary system, what organs are involved in the urinary system. So I'm going to write here down. All right, so here I am going to wait. Urinary system. So what organs are involved in the urinary system? All right, wait, let me make here so that it can be more clear to you. All right, I'm going to make here the human body again. So this is the human body. All right, this is the coelomic cavity we do have again. All right, as we have talked about that kidneys are the retroparietal, means they will not have the covering of parietal peritoneum, but they will have only the covering of what? They'll only have covering of the visceral peritoneum. So this is basically visceral peritoneum. So we do have two tubes which are attached to these kidneys, alright, which are taking the urine from the kidneys. Alright, so these are the two tubes which are known as ureters. Alright, so now we have one bag like structure which will collect the urine. Alright, here urine will be straight out. Alright, so this bag is known as urinary bladder. Then ultimately we do have one pipe by which urine will be passed out. That tube is known as urethra. Alright, now I can easily write here what components I do have in the urinary system. Alright, so I'm just going to write it down. So first of all, I do have two kidneys, as you can see here, one kidney here and other kidney here. Alright, so I can easily write here two kidneys I do have, which plays the major role in the urinary system. Alright, two kidneys I do have. Second, I do have two ureters, as you can see here, one ureter here and another ureter here. Alright, so two ureters I do have. Ureters. Then third one, I do have one urinary bladder. Alright, so let me write it down here. One urinary bladder I do have. Wait, urinary bladder. The last but not the least, I have a small pipe by which urine will be passed out. Alright, so that is known as urethra. So I do have one urethra in the urinary system. Alright, so these are the components, or these are the organs which are involved in the urinary system. Alright, two kidneys I do have, then again two ureters I do have, which will carry the urine to the urinary bladder. Again I have one urinary bladder, then one urethra by what urine will be passed out from the body. Alright, so these are the organs, or these are the components which are involved in the urinary system. Now we need to know that what are the characteristics of urine. Alright, so I am going to write it down. I should write here. What are the features or characteristics of the urine? Alright, so characteristics of urine. So characteristics of urine. Alright, So first characteristic of urine I have, like, it's about the color. All right, the color is yellowish to the colorless. Urine is yellowish to the colorless. The first is this characteristic. All right, we'll be talking about how it has a yellow color. All right, it is yellowish to the colorless. So we'll be talking about that in the further lectures. All right, so its environment, like what its nature. All right, is it alkaline or it is acidic? All right, so our urine is acidic. Our urine is acidic, which has a pH of 6. All right, it is a 6 pH, which means it is acidic. All right, so now how much urine take out the urea from the body? All right, how much urine take out the urea from our body? So I'm going to write here, urine take out urea in a day. I'm just talking about here in a day. 25 or 3 gram per day. All right, wait, let me reset. This is 2, 25 to 30 gram per day. Like our urine, how much our urine is produced in a day? It is 1.5 to 2 liter. All right, so in that urine, how much urea is going out from the body? So the amount of urea is 25 to 30 gram, which will be passed out from the body in a day only. All right, so this was all about today. Tomorrow we'll be going with the urinary system, like how urine is made. All right, so this was all about the basics of urinary system. Tomorrow we'll be going with the formation of urine. Thank you.